So first up, we have the best new show. Charlie.
This was hard. There were a lot of really good new shows, and I may get to name a few later in a different category. But for this one, I went with the one that I watched more than once, and it was Fallout, which is a lot of fun.
More than once?
I did. I watched it all by myself, and then I rewatched it again with Amy,
wow.
my wife. So we were able to kind of get through that again. She really loved it too. So this was really fun. And if you want to hear some like deeper thoughts on this, we have a whole episode dedicated to it. So I don't need to rehash all that. But if you haven't seen it, see it. It's on Prime. It's great.
This was good. I enjoyed this, and I've never played the games before. Dylan, did you ever watch this?
I did. I watched the whole thing. Walter Goggins was excellent.
Well, that's right. Dylan did watch it because we made it.
Yeah, we made him. We forced him. You guys both were forced to watch. Part of why I love this is because you actually watched a whole TV show, both of you. One whole season of a new show.
I know.
True.
This will always have a special place in my heart for that reason alone.
True. It's true. No, this is a great pick, Charlie.
Thank you, sir.
Absolutely.
Tudong, what's your best new show of 2024?
My best new show, I'm really hoping that this is correct. I looked at it and it seemed like it was the right one, and that is Shogun. I actually thought, I'm not going to compare it to the original, but I'll tell you, the cinematography is unbelievable, at the very least, I'll say that. Really appreciate, there's a lot to appreciate with this, but yeah, Shogun, new show, I think it's fantastic. Give it a watch. Yes,
this is high on my list of shows that I don't know why I didn't see them this year. I don't know. I want to see this. It looks fantastic. Everyone raves about how good it is. I love watching shows like this, and I just haven't done it yet. So I'm without excuse. I'm really excited to see this, and you saying it's your favorite show of the year just gets me even more fired up to check it out. So I gotta see it.
I had this on my watch list, and I just need to start it. It was one of those ones when I had shoulder surgery, and I was off for work for 6 weeks. I was like, I'm going to watch that, and then I didn't. But I thought about it.
Have either of you guys seen the miniseries with Richard Chamberlain and Toshiro Mifune, or even read the book? I've watched both. I've watched both. Watched it.
I have read a lot of books. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that.
No,
what's your favorite? What's your best new show?
My favorite is one that I have gushed about, and it should be pretty obvious because I've talked about it, and I've urged these guys, specifically the guy right above me, to watch it, and he hasn't, because it's Dark Matter. It's Dark Matter. Oh my gosh, this show was so good. It was on Apple TV. I love the book. I've read the book multiple times because I read books, Charlie. And
you also read books. That's good.
I do.
Look at us.
This was one of the shows. Shogun, bro?
No, I haven't read Shogun. No, but I read Dark Matter. This is one of the shows that the showrunner, or maybe not the showrunner, but the author of the book was really involved with everything. And so he actually went in and made changes that he thought about making after the book came out, and was able to implement that into the show. And it actually made for a really good show. And they did things that I really liked, that I actually liked better than how they did it in the book. And this was great. It was great. I loved it. So that's my best new show.
I am 4 episodes in, and I have enjoyed it so far.
Charlie, you've been 4 episodes in. I believe this came out in January?
That doesn't sound right. I
don't know, Charlie.
Yeah, that doesn't sound right either.
It's been out for a long time. Quiet you.
Come on, I'm January 2025. I'm on. Hey, it's Apple. You know, I love my Apple Plus
You
TV
do love
shows.
your Apple shows.
And they are making the best content in the business right now. Do yourself a favor. Treat yourself for a New Year's gift. Get yourself a subscription to Apple Plus. The show's fantastic.
Except the one that you haven't finished, that I keep telling you to finish.
The first 4 episodes, they're great.
Oh gosh, you're killing me. All right, next category: best returning show. Charlie, it's right up your alley.
I went with Dark Matter because I thought it was returning from the book, and it's my favorite. Oh, okay. This was a hard one because there were so many great returning shows this year. But I went with a classic. I went with one I think was just that I had the most fun watching. I've not always looked forward to a new episode or new episodes of a new season of Only Murders in the Building. Season 4 did not disappoint. It's you kind of know what you're getting when you watch a season of this, but they do a new job of kind of reinventing the show enough to make it interesting, so you're not watching the same thing over and over again. The cast kind of expands in fun ways. You get kind of a meta approach to things. Really fun season. I don't know if you guys had watched this new season. Dylan, I don't know if you watched any of it, but it's great. Steve Martin and Martin Short are just national treasures. Let go is fantastic in this. So the cast is always good, and it's no wonder they're getting stars like Meryl Streep and Paul Rudd and everyone is literally dying to be in this TV show. So make sure you check it out. There's going to be a season 5 coming. It's on Hulu. It's a really wonderful show.
I watched season 1.
It's funny.
That's as far as I've gotten.
The wife has gotten it like very far into the show. I'm surprised I haven't watched it either yet.
I'm a little surprised because I think you would enjoy the humor of Steve Martin Short playing off each other. It's a lot of fun.
I've got to start the show. I'm gonna have to start watching.
You got to start watching.
New Year's resolution.
I
We have yet to
season
say
1.
something that we've all seen, except for Fallout. We've all seen Fallout.
That's true.
That's true.
All right, we got to do better, boys. We got to do better. We got to. We're on a podcast here that we're supposed to talk about this stuff. We got to watch more stuff. Come on.
Very true. Very true.
Pick it up.
All right, Tudong, what's your best returning show?
My best returning show, it's season 2, and it is Tulsa King. I am, for some reason, just first off, it's Stallone, and you can't go wrong with that. It's really funny because, sometimes it doesn't even seem like a whole bunch is happening, and I don't care. I still like watching these characters, and then it seems like lots is happening. I every time it comes on, it's really funny. Like for some reason on Sunday nights, like Saturday nights, I'm not able to sleep, and I'm like, wow, it's already come on. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead. I can't sit there and like wait or any of those kinds of things. Like Tulsa King, it comes on, and then I'm like, I don't really need to sleep that much. So I'll put it on. It's really fun, and I like seeing Stallone in this kind of a role. I mean, it's funny, and it's interesting, and it's exciting. He's a gangster, and he does gangster stuff. In this one, even Frank Grillo's in it, and his character is, as always, is great. Huh? Crossbones, yeah. Crossbones is in it. Yeah, that's right. Excellent show. You guys haven't seen it. I say give it a watch. Really fun, I say.
Yeah, I watched season 1. I got to get a Paramount subscription again so I can watch season 2.
Mm-hmm.
Is it family friendly?
I don't want to derail things, but have you guys seen the movie Copland?
A long time ago.
Yeah.
I just finally watched that for the first time, and I have no idea why. I just like, let me watch this. And at some point, I just want to put a little pin in this. We got to talk about Harvey Keitel because I don't understand why people like him. I don't get it. He's a terrible actor. His line delivery is so atrocious. But Stallone in that movie, fantastic, and it made me think of Tulsa King because he has this kind of subdued, less Stallonean like characterization. So just kind of I think he's an underrated actor. So I enjoyed the first season. I'm curious about the second season.
Interesting. Okay.
But Harvey
Keitel, he was in a movie where he was, I can't remember, he was Pontius Pilate, or if he was, I can't remember what person he was. He was some kind of in this, it was a religious movie, and I always wanted to see it, see if he still sounded all. Is that it? Is that what he was in? Because I'm curious to see him, only to see if he's still using his New York accent. Because really, if he did, I'm like, come on, Harvey.
Harvey.
Come on. Harvey.
All right, Dill, what's your Brody? What's your returning show?
Yeah.
All right. So my returning show, I actually thought that there was going to be a crossover here, and I'm a little surprised that it wasn't, because we did a whole episode on this show. Can you guys guess what it is?
X-Men 97.
Nailed it, man. Nailed it. Golly. Returning after 25 years or whatever it is. Oh, it was so good.
Does that count?
What do you mean does it count? What do you mean does it count?
No, I didn't. I didn't say it didn't. I said, does that count?
Of course, it's my number one returning show because it returned. It was a show, and then it went away, and now it returned. It's back, and it's better than ever. Oh, the stories are great. The designs are great. I love it.
Yeah.
I can't wait for season 2. From what I've heard is they're going to kind of get into the Morrison run. So they're going to kind of move away from some of the 90s stuff, which makes me a little sad. I have such a soft spot for the 90s stuff. But this show was so stinking good that it's just amazing that it came back as good as it did, because I love it and I love it, and it hit me in the heartstrings. That episode 5, doggone it, that episode 5 was. Oh, and the last episode, God, they hit so many things. It was great. So that is my best returning show, because I love it. So good.
Well, bro, there was a reason why I didn't put that on my best returning show, because this was my surprise of 2024.
Oh,
you can put up my next because I had no idea it was going to be this good and this compelling, and it's just like the animation would be this beautiful, and I just really wasn't sure what to expect. That this long of a gap between the shows, and the original X-Men cartoon was fun. It was fun. Yeah. But it's not like something that, like, I try to rewatch a bunch of the episodes in anticipation of 97. And after a while, it's kind of like, all right, we're kind of all over the place here. The narratives are jumpy. It's just, it was like, all right, this is cool. It was a good, there's only so far the nostalgia can carry you. So my expectations were pretty low when this dropped. And boy, man, it was just like mind blowing. It was just the best X-Men content I think I've ever seen on screen. And it was, and we have a whole episode on this too. So if you want to hear us, blather on and on about how much we love this, and as Brody put, gosh, then you'll pop on that episode. I'm sure Brody's dropping links all below, so don't worry about it. But I was just so pleasantly surprised by this. They did my boy a little dirty, but that's okay. He's a legend, and legends never die.
Correct.
Yeah.
No, this is a good pick for your surprise. I probably could have put this as surprise too, because it's, you kind of, when they announce it and it's like, oh, I hope it's good. I'm crossing my fingers. I hope it's good. So yeah, this was a good surprise also. All right, Tulo, what was yours?
My surprise was much in the same vein as I was really hoping that my expectations were exceedingly low. And they'd have to work really hard to make it bad. And I thought that that's exactly what they were going to do. But my surprise this time was that Beetlejuice was not absolutely terrible. I really expected it to be. I expected it to be bad. And it was not bad. And that's what I will say. And I'm flabbergasted by that. Flabbergasted. Didn't expect it to not be horrible. I don't know exactly why Winona Ryder, I don't know if she has makeup or if she's had work done to look like Sandra Bullock for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know why a lot of things. But what I do know is I'm shocked that this wasn't terrible. And it wasn't terrible.
Interesting. I still haven't watched this.
Not terrible.
I did not hear some good things.
Shocks me.
Specifically from our friends over at Keeping Up with Kardashians. They were not kind to this.
I'm not saying. All that I'm saying was that it wasn't terrible. I expected this to be on the disappointed list.
It's true. It's not on the disappointed list, so.
It's not. And I'm shocked because, out of all of the people who are in this who I expected to destroy it, Tim Burton was the top of my list. I'm like, he's going to make this as horrible as every later movie he has been doing.
Every movie since Big Fish, right?
Yeah. Yes. Maybe before that.
No, Big Fish was great. You take that back.
Big Fish was great, but was Planet of the Apes before Big Fish? I think so, and that deserves to be on his absolute trash list of movies because he has made a lot of trash. But you know what? Brody is right. Big Fish is
excellent. Yeah, I gotta watch this. I gotta watch Beetlejuice. I want to see it. Listen.
All right. What's your biggest surprise?
My biggest surprise was a movie that I saw in theaters that I took my wife to. And I was going for my wife and was surprised at how much I actually really liked it. And that was Wicked. you know, I've heard the soundtracks because my wife loves it. I took her to see the Broadway show many years ago, and I thought it was good, but I didn't really remember anything about it. Like, I'm watching the movie and was surprised at how much I didn't remember, even though I saw the Broadway show. But this was really good. I really liked it. I really liked the way that they just put everything together. The songs and the choreography were really good. There's just some really standout like dance numbers. One where they're in a library that has like spinning parts of the room that were really neat to watch. The way the songs were done. Ariana Grande, I really liked as Glinda. It was just, I walked out and I was like, man, that was a really good movie. I'm really looking forward to part 2. And I was surprised because I figured it would be like, oh yeah, it was fun. Or, you know, the songs were fun, you know, something like that. And I expected my wife and my daughters to love it way more. But I was like, I really like this movie. So what's so funny?
There's a reason why it's so popular, Brody.
Popular? Lar?
No, it's good. The music is fantastic. I haven't seen the movie yet, but I am going to see it at some point when it streams at a TV near me.
It's really good. I'm really looking forward to the sequel that's going to come out in a year. I feel like they kind of missed a chance. It should have come out in the summertime, and I think that it would have been big, and just having like a 6-month gap between the two. But they're going with a year gap. Hey, you know, that's fine. So, but there you go. Those are the biggest surprises for us. And so now we go into biggest disappointments. Uh-oh.
Yeah. Uh-oh is right, because we're about to have our first conflict of the show. You can put mine up. Because
I'm not arguing.
I was suspiciously quiet during Dylan's segment because, man, I was so disappointed. And this is probably this is all probably expectation based, or he went in thinking it would be really terrible. I watched the first one. Amy had never seen the first one, so we watched the first one together, and she did.
Okay, yeah.
We had a whole date night. We went to go see the Nutcracker Ballet. We had a nice dinner. We came home. The kids were spending the night somewhere else. We had it all planned out. We're gonna watch the new Beetlejuice movie, and we pop it on, and we're snuggled up together in like 45 minutes. And we look at each other. We haven't laughed out loud. We haven't smiled, and it's just kind of like, are you enjoying this? And she's like, no. And I'm like, you know. It was like somehow simultaneously too much and not enough. It was just like a bunch of storylines and characters all thrown together. It didn't make a lot of cohesive narrative sense, and the story structure, it wasn't fun. Like, the first movie is fun and it's imaginative, and you're discovering this magical world through the eyes of 2 brand new ghosts and kind of getting to see all the craziness through the eyes of people who are discovering it. And now it's just kind of like, I don't know. It just was really just not funny and not fun. The characters were not likable. It's just, you know, and how are we still having like her own daughter think, oh, these ghosts aren't real? Like, what are we doing here? Like we went through everything we went through in the first Beetlejuice, and now we got to like watch characters be like, oh, I don't believe you. Like, I can't. It's like I don't know. It's just at some point, it's like after you've seen enough Ghostbuster movies, like I don't want to hear characters in Ghostbusters talk about how they don't believe in ghosts. Like, just. They're real. We all know they're real. We don't need to go through a story arc where you're trying to figure out if they're real or not. Like, I don't know. The whole thing was just such a letdown. The soul sucking, that I don't know. Why was Danny DeVito there? I don't understand. Just the whole thing was just a mess. Just a mess. Brody, don't watch it. Don't do it. Instead of watching this, watch the first one again, which was fantastic, imaginative, creative, and lovely. Don't watch this. It's a mess. Listen to the Cardassians.
Oh, too dog.
The line must be drawn here.
I am not arguing.
It's not
arguing.
And Michael Keaton's not even in it enough. Like, it's just, I know he wasn't in the first one a lot either, but like, that was fine. Like, we didn't come to see the first one for Keaton. We came to see this one for Keaton. Give me more Keaton.
Yeah.
Anyway. Right. And I could do without the weird, where he's still pining after the, like Winona Ryder was like 16 when she made that first one. Like it was creepy in the first one. We could have just like let that storyline like subside. Awesome. But anyway, I'll have this is the most I'll have to say about anything on my list because it's the most angry I was watching a movie. And this might be the most competitive category. I had some other things that
Really?
Maybe we'll do honorable mentions later, but
okay,
this one trumped them just because of the setup and then the rug pull. People liked it. It made a bunch of money. Made like almost 300 million domestically. People love it. So I'm probably wrong, but that was just what was your disappointment? You get angry for a while.
All right. Go to the movies. Horror movie. And I thought to myself, this is going to be good. I saw Nosferatu, and I thought, I've been waiting for it to come out. Go ahead, bro, put it up. That's the one.
Wow.
I've been waiting for it to come up. I was like, Lily Rose Depp, great. We've got Bill Skarsgård, great. Nicholas Hoult, great. All these people, great. And the director, Robert Eggers, great. Love The Lighthouse. And the first part is great. And I really was expecting it to be scary. There were parts where I was like, yeah, I jumped right out of my seat. They had switched out. Hey, okay, it's based on Nosferatu, which is a take on Dracula. It's not Dracula. It is vampires, but somehow they made it very plague-like.
Legally distinct from Dracula.
Okay. The legal department is cleared.
Skarsgård has this ridiculous mustache, and you also don't really get to see him a whole lot at all. But when you see all of him, yes, he stands up, and you see all of him. And hey, that's great. They must have sized that down though, because he must have been like a corpse or something like that. Because I'm like, Bill Skarsgård's got to be much bigger than that. That's not my disappointment. My disappointment was the rest.
That's why I didn't like it.
The movie was in no way scary. It wasn't scary. I don't know what exactly they were doing. I understand that they're in the first Nosferatu. There's a sacrifice. There were times, and I have not seen Lily Rose Depp in, like, there was like a TV show that she was in, and I heard it wasn't very good. I haven't seen it. I don't know all about that, but I don't know what kind of directing he gave to her, because she would be like wigging out and freaking out, and then suddenly she's back to her senses immediately inside of the same couple of seconds. She's literally like convulsing, and then she's like, oh wait, no, and I'm like, wait, what? And then she's like, I know exactly what's happening, and you better listen to me. And I was just like, what? Now you know what's happening? I thought you were like a somnambulist. I thought you were sleepwalking. And there's two like kids, and they get eaten by Nosferatu, and the whole time we were like laughing because these kids are like, "Gah," and the mom is like, "Eek." And then he's like eating them right in front of the mom, and she's like, oh, no, wait a minute, hey. And I'm just like, what are you guys doing? This should be frightening right here. The whole thing should be frightening. And it really wasn't frightening. I was kind of rolling my eyes, and I'm like, okay, so this is now what it's going to be, huh?
Wow.
This is how it's going to be. Ridiculous. I was very disappointed. Eggers, rooting for you still, man. This is your fourth. And I mean, I don't know what Willem Dafoe was doing. Sometimes he was just like his normal self, and then sometimes he was a bit over the top, but then sometimes he's back to lower, not even himself. I know. I'm like, come on, he's supposed to be the Van Helsing of this. Nicholas Hoult was consistently great in this movie. He was consistently great. And there were parts where Lily Rose Depp, I was just like, all right, yes, I'm feeling this. And there's with Bill Skarsgård, and I was like, he's frightening. And then they haven't talked too much. And then they have him there too much. And I'm like, is this seat like what are they doing with him even?
See,
I have no idea.
I've been looking online, and that's like the most negative thing I've heard about it. I feel like people are raving about this movie.
Bro, you need to go back online a little bit, because I went on to IMDb and I was looking at the different people with their, what they thought, all that kind of a thing. And there's quite a few people that think actually a lot stronger than I do about the whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm glad that, because I was like, maybe I missed something. Maybe what did I miss? And I always hate that. And if I did miss something, I will admit it. I'm like, oh, I missed this. I had no idea. I didn't get it at all. I liked the movie, like the first original movie. And I love Shadow of the Vampire, the fictional retelling of the making of that movie with Willem Dafoe and John Malkovich. You guys have seen that, right? Shadow of the Vampire? No? All right. Well, if you're going to go out and watch something besides Nosferatu, the original one, watch Shadow of the Vampire. It is an excellent movie. You guys seen it?
No. Huh.
Willem Dafoe plays Max Schreck like he's a real vampire, and they it's not an actual movie, but they're like, hey, what if we made a movie about the making of Nosferatu? The only thing is they actually hired a real vampire, which is obviously not true, because Max Schreck in real life was a actual actor back in the day. But they were like, what if he was actually a vampire? And they got him to be in Nosferatu, Count Orlok. It is excellent. He is excellent. I went back and I watched it and I was like, it's great. Before watching this, and then I saw this, I'm like, very disappointed.
Interesting.
Right. Yeah.
Brody, if you tell me that your most disappointed movie was Saturday Night or Kinds of Kindness, I'm going to lose it.
Saturday Night or Kinds of Kindness?
Because then that would mean that all three of us had a Willem Dafoe movie as our most disappointed movie of the year.
No,
so we get the full trifecta, because he was in Beetlejuice, and Nosferatu. So come on, Brody. He was in 4 2024 movies. You had 4 to choose from.
I'm sorry. No.
Although mine, the most disappointed.
Mine is a horror movie.
Yeah. You watched a horror movie?
So mine is a horror movie, because I am in apparently an abusive relationship with this franchise, and no matter how many times it hurts me and makes me sad, I keep coming back to it, and I'm like, but the originals were so good, and I did the same thing with this one, and it's Alien Romulus.
Is it evil?
Alien Romulus. I was,
it's Ridley Scott.
But this isn't Ridley Scott. This is Fede Alvarez. And there was all these talks of Ridley Scott loved it, and I think James Cameron loved it or something like that. And
James Cameron's always going to say that, and Ridley Scott, you can't trust anything he says.
And so I was really excited. I really liked the trailers. It looked cool. It had this cool alien type atmosphere where they're in a ship, and there's all of the face huggers around, and I was excited for this. And then I watched it, and honestly, the first half, maybe 2/3 of the movie, I was enjoying. I wasn't crazy about all the characters. I did like the android guy. I thought he was neat. But then the last third or so, it really just lost me. And it's kind of like, there are so many lessons that you can learn from this franchise, that this movie just kind of ignored. We can stop messing with the design of the alien. We can stop changing things with the alien. The xenomorph design is perfect. Stop messing with it. It never works. It always looks bad. It always looks dumb, no matter what story reasons you give it. And for some reason, this movie ends with doing just that, and it looked dumb. And I was at the end, and I'm like, I don't like this anymore. And it ended, and I was kind of like, well, that was a bummer. I had such high hopes for good alien movies, right? I love the Alien franchise, even though at this point I think the ones I don't like are outweighing the ones I like. And so it's, but I keep coming back to it. I'm such a sucker for this doggone franchise, and it was such a bummer. And I wish I just would have like turned it off. Like there was like a point where like things seemed okay, and I should have just shut it off then, because then it just ruined the rest of the movie by having a dumb ending. So that was my disappointment. Doggone it, Alien Romulus. You could have had something special.
Willem Dafoe in it. It would have saved it.
I know. If Willem Dafoe was in it, man. If he was the android.
If he had burst out of someone at the end, and he's like, "Hello."
Yeah. Like, why was the android from Alien in it? Why was that a decision that they made? It's just dumb. There's a lot of things that I'm like, why did they make this decision? It doesn't make sense. It's a callback for the sake of a callback, and doesn't make sense. And it didn't even look good. It could have just been any other android. Could have been any android. Why? So I don't know. But there are disappointments. We hope that you guys didn't experience these same disappointments. Hopefully these, I don't know. Hopefully these were better for you.
People liked all three of these movies. People are probably just mad at us.
That's okay. That's okay.
Right, special categories. I'm just gonna burn through my special category real fast.
Yeah, we each have a special category. We each kind of come up with our own special thing that we want to highlight. And so I don't even know what these guys have.
I'll go ahead and pop mine up here, bro. So so essentially it's like a top 10 of my shows of the year minus Fallout, which you've already seen, and well, technically top 11 because X-Men. But these are other great TV shows from 2024 that Dylan and Brody will probably never see. So we had the day, and I'll just run through these. If you guys have questions about any of them, let me know. Bad Monkey. We got another season of Slow Horses, which is fantastic. I keep telling you to watch that every year. This just makes the list. Shrinking season 2 came out, fantastic. Part 2 of season 2 of Invincible came out. Extraordinary is a great little superhero show. We've talked a little bit about that. Season 2 came out. A Man on the Inside with Ted Danson almost was my number 1 new show. Fantastic show.
Heard good things.
Tokyo Vice season 2. Unfortunately, the final season, very good. Girls 5 Eva. Season 3 on Netflix. Enjoyable show. I think Amy, your Amy Brody would enjoy that. Maybe even Diana probably enjoy it too, because both your wives are singers, and this is a girl group show. It's a funny comedy. And then The English Teacher, a nice little new comedy show. So these are some 9 other shows that either debuted or had new seasons in 2024. All of them are good. Any questions, gentlemen?
I will point out that I have seen 2, maybe 3 episodes of the first season of Invincible.
I don't know if that's better or worse. I feel like that's worse when you watch like 1 or 2. I mean, you're still on me. I've seen 4 episodes of Dark Matter. That was this year. I mean, the first season of Invincible was like 2022, man. It's like 2 years ago.
Hey,
we're not
talking about that right now. We're not talking about Dark Matter.
The Girls 5 Eva is on Netflix.
Oh, I have Netflix right now.
It's cute. They're like a girl group who's kind of like reuniting in their 40s and just kind of trying to recapture some of the glory days. You get like Busy Phillips and Sarah Bareilles of music fame to lend some legitimacy to the. And I don't need to go through the whole cast. It's a great cast. The girls are all fantastic. Chemistry's great. Music's really fun.
Yeah, I heard good things about the Ted Danson Man on the Inside. Is that what it's called?
Man on the Inside. Very like, hey,
because
it is it's funny, but it's also it's an emotional one. Gets you right here in the old heart.
Because I do care for an elderly family member who is in an old folks home, a senior living facility, and so
I don't know if that would make this. This might make it a tough watch. It's
no, I'd probably laugh at it.
It's a funny show, and Ted Danson is literally a national treasure. I think he was declared as a 2024 as one of the great wonders of the world and an official national treasure. So God bless you, Ted Danson.
Extraordinary.
What
I do need to watch that. Extraordinary.
Oh, extraordinary. It's really funny. Very funny. Crass, but very funny. Very British. Okay. If you like superhero stuff and like kind of like a crass sense of humor, this is very, very funny. Very good.
Okay.
It does not take itself too seriously, which is what if you're going to have a comedic superhero show, you want it to take the superhero part seriously, where they put thought and effort into the powers, but not take itself seriously where they can't make fun of that. So, and they do a nice job towing the line.
Okay.
Very good.
All right. Cool. Tudon,
All right.
what's your special category this year?
My special category is a best fight scene, and so the last time I'm pretty sure I quoted something from Cobra Kai, and so I'm doing it again. The last episode 10, the big multi-dojo brawl is absolutely fantastic. You get to see Chosen beating people down, Johnny and Daniel fighting on the same team. I always love seeing that. You guys haven't seen any of Cobra Kai yet, have you?
I haven't.
I've seen a season. I've seen a season of it.
Season 1?
Season 1.
Yeah.
It's like watching season 1 of The Office. It doesn't count. Or season 1 of There's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It's totally different.
It's Always Sunny.
The first season didn't have Danny DeVito. It's a totally different show.
Well, it was a totally different show.
Is Cobra Kai a totally different show in season 2?
I don't know. I've never seen it.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Season 3, then it gets to be a totally different show, because then that's when Chosen comes in. Favorite character absolutely is Chosen. Either way, everybody gets into a fight in this show. You get Kreese versus Silver. You get Johnny coming in fighting Silver as well. There's a new, I can't remember what his name is, but he's a new sensei from a different dojo, and he fights Daniel and Johnny, and you've got those kids, and they're fighting, and Tori and what is Daniel's kid's name? Her and I can't remember.
I believe it's Little LaRusso.
Little LaRusso.
Little LaRusso. Welcome,
Anyways, I actually like seeing people who had been antagonists, and now they're friends, like Johnny and Daniel, like Miguel and Robbie. There's a scene where in the middle of this brawl, they are in the middle of this fight, and they accidentally run into each other, and they turn, and you see them both, and Miguel actually smiles at him, and both of them are, give the nod. I love that kind of a thing. Absolutely love it. I believe I'm forgetting what Daniel's daughter is named.
I'll look it up for you.
Samantha, Sam LaRusso. Yeah, Sam and Tori. Even she sits there and she's like, "Wow, thanks." And she's like, "Anytime." Samantha says that, and I'm like, I love seeing that kind of thing. I like seeing them happy, and I'm looking forward to I shouldn't say I'm looking forward to the end of Cobra Kai, but the end of Cobra Kai. There's 5 more episodes that are coming next year. Obviously, it'll probably make my list again.
Samantha LaRusso was the name you're looking for that you never thought of.
That's the one. That's why I didn't.
Check the tape. He never got there.
Thanks, Charlie.
You're welcome.
Never got it. Either way, I thought it was good. I thought the ending was a little bit odd. I don't want to spoil it for you guys, but somebody gets stabbed in their stomach and die instantly, which is really not how things go. But it's weird because I'm trying to think of the last time somebody actually died in a Karate Kid movie, and I can't really remember. Either way, he's certainly talking about body bags, but his kid gets boom just like that.
Do they immediately put him in a body bag? Is it like it's like immediately instantly dead, and then out comes the stretcher, and they put him in a body bag?
It's not even 2 or 3, but the kid who was like, "Yeah, put him in a body bag," actually gets zipped up because he passes away, and then he passed away in real life. So yes, he gets put into a body bag. You get to see it.
Oh, that's sad.
Mr. Body Bag himself. Yeah, that's true. But this is excellent, and I can't wait to see the ending of it, and I hope everybody's still there. I want to see some more. I want to see spin-offs. Give me some Chosen, because he is the best character there. I love it. And if you like Cobra Kai, you know what I'm talking about.
All right, what do you got? What do you got for us, bro?
Yeah.
All right, so my special category, I'm actually changing it up from last year. Last year I had best theatrical experience that Charlie and Dylan didn't have. But I'm changing it this year. It's different. It's different. This year, now, you guys know I love Santa Claus. And I am very particular about my Santa Clauses. I don't like Santa Clauses being mean. I don't care for the Santa Claus movies because he doesn't feel like actually Santa Claus. And this year, there was a movie that came out that I thought had the best interpretation of Santa Claus I'd ever seen. And surprisingly, it's out of the Red One movie. J.K. Simmons as Santa Claus is my favorite Santa Claus. It's a little bit different.
Really?
He's not, big and fat and stuff like that. He's slim, he's buff, he's in like a workout room at one point. But the way that he talks about being Santa Claus, the way that he talks about kids, at one point they towards the beginning of the movie, they go to a mall and he's just being a mall Santa and he just wants to be around the kids. And he even says being in a mall 2 days before Christmas is like oxygen to me. And I was like, that is so good. And I realized that J.K. Simmons isn't writing this. There's a writer out there that's doing this. But the way that he portrayed Santa Claus, I was just like, this is so good. This is the Santa Claus that I love. And as it went on, he wasn't in all of the movie. This was almost my biggest surprise of the year. But I was like, well, but the movie I thought was fine. It was, I'll rewatch it. But J.K. Simmons was really the standout. And he was in the beginning. He was kind of gone because he got kidnapped and they had to save him. But just every time he was on scene as Santa Claus, I was like, I love this Santa Claus. Like, I love it. I love everything that he says. Like, I love the way that he presented himself as Santa Claus, the way that he spoke to people, the things that he said. I loved it. This is like my new like go-to Santa Claus as my favorite interpretation, because it was so good. It was so good. The movie itself, it's fine. It was fun. It was sure. But I will rewatch this again just so that I can see J.K. Simmons' Santa Claus. And I'm kind of hoping, because they kind of talk about things that maybe they could kind of expand and do different things and kind of a shared universe type thing. And I actually kind of hope that they do, because I just want to see more J.K. Simmons as Santa Claus. So this is my special category. Best Santa Claus is going to J.K. Simmons.
That's cool.
It was so good. I loved it. I don't know if you guys have seen this. Probably not. Doesn't seem like either of your types of movies. But it was.
How dare you, bro?
Well, Dylan is a known hater of Santa Claus. You guys are on polar opposite ends of, if you will, north polar opposite ends of the Santa spectrum.
I portrayed him once. He didn't appreciate it.
But you're gonna have a fantastic second act in your 60s, just being Santa Claus for functions.
No, that's actually like my goal in life. I'm gonna go to Santa school. I've got like the costume like picked out, the style that I like.
You do.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to be a Santa Claus. 100%. Not a joke.
Love it.
I just want to go watch J.K. Simmons as Santa Claus again. Even just seeing it, I'm like, I want to go watch it.
Do anything.
I want to go watch
Simmons
it.
Is fantastic.
All right,
you still got to watch Christmas Chronicles. You can check out some Kurt Russell Santa Claus. It's good stuff too.
I've seen some of it. He's a little grumpy for me. A little grumpy.
No. Oh,
have you seen Mel Gibson in Fat Man, bro? He's really grumpy.
He's very grumpy. Yes. Yeah.
He's very grumpy.
I did end up watching that. I did watch it. Yeah, I did watch it.
That's a fun one. That's fun. He is fun in that movie.
All right, so
very upset.
Now we're getting into best sequel, specifically movies. Charlie.
Best sequel. This was, if you had to pick a best sequel, this is a good year to do it, in the sense that like there were 57 different sequels that came out this year. So I just went for the one that I've watched the most times with the family and really enjoyed. It's not like some exotic pick here. This is a pretty dull pick. Tons of people put their money on this pick in the theaters, and it was a huge runaway success, and that was Inside Out 2. So, I'm a sucker for these kind of movies in general. The first Inside Out, watching for the first time, holding my newborn, and just getting all weepy, tears splashing on his little face. And then now I got a teenager and another one who's almost a teen, and it just hits it hits you at the life stage that you're in. And my little 5-year-old loved this, and he's like, we talked about it. He's like, Dad, look, I'm anxiety, and then he just starts running really fast because anxiety is when she has the anxiety, she's like really fast, so she's like, look at me go, anxiety. It's just so cute, and he wanted dressed up as Joy for Halloween. It was a fun Like this was a big movie around the household this year. So I none of these are necessarily what I think are the best movies, but just the ones that it says best there. I know, but just this is the one that I think was the most meaningful. Might be a better way to say this for the year 2024 for my household.
Interesting. I like the first one better.
Well, I think Santa's dumb.
Oh, Charlie, why would you say that to me? Why would you say that? It's so hurtful. So hurtful. My goodness.
No, I think the first one better. Oh, bro.
That's a competition, Brody. Like pick a sequel that you thought was better than the original.
That would be a good top 3. Have we done that?
Would be good.
We might have done that already.
Maybe, but we can do it again.
There we go. Yeah.
There we go.
Perhaps the Empire.
Yeah, we have done it.
All right, Tudong.
It's funny. It's funny that you say that because
it doesn't matter.
He's not going to say it. Oh, he's not going to say it back. Well, it's funny that you say that about the this sequel, because my sequel is almost the exact same thing. I have the same thing with my kid, and I dressed her up as she and I dressed up as these characters, and we were like portraying them all throughout the house. And
is it a horror movie?
No, it's not. It's the movie actually is Deadpool and Wolverine. I get to be Deadpool. I'm just kidding. This is not us, and nor did we dress up. Oh, and nor did I show her the movie, but you know what? It's a fun sequel, and I absolutely love it to complete pieces. I almost actually put this for best fight scene, and I mean, they were really just stabbing and shooting each other, though, but it was so cool. All of it was so cool. Seeing Wolverine pull that mask down. I was looking for a nice picture of him when he's jumping out of the bus, but I just had to look at Stan looking cool either way. The movie speaks for itself as far as I'm concerned. I mean, it made almost as much as the movie that Charlie picked. But phenomenal movie. I love all of I'm trying to think of a part that I don't really care for, and I really can't. Favorite sequel, a lot. And Charlie, we haven't heard any of your choices or your opinions about this movie. Not yet, at least.
That's right.
Never seen it.
Unbelievable.
All right, bro. What's your best sequel?
I don't know why you hate my formatting so much, man. Every slide you've messed up my formatting. The picture's way too big. You push the Punchy Award.
I know. Right, I'm sorry. I was trying. I put the picture up. Come on. I put the picture up.
Yeah, I'm proud of you, bud. I'm proud of you. All right, my favorite sequel, or best sequel, was one that again, it's just a movie that I really, really enjoyed. And that was Dune Part 2. I really enjoyed the first one. I really enjoyed the second one. It was great because the first one came out in 2020, and so I just saw it when it came straight onto Max. I didn't see it in theaters, but this I was able to see in theaters and on the big screen. It was great. It was awesome. The music was blaring, and the just visuals are all over. They're just it was so cool, and there's lots of action, and I really enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to the third one. I have no idea when the third one's coming. I'm not sure why they're taking so long between these movies, but yeah, no, this was great. You guys haven't seen this, right? I think I asked you guys this, and by the looks of your faces, you're not interested.
I'd have to rewatch the first one. I don't know. It was beautifully shot. Beautifully shot.
I have heard that it was beautifully shot.
I really enjoyed it. I'm really enjoying this whole franchise right now. So
I like the first one better.
Yeah.
And that's okay. I'm sure you didn't like the first ending. You get grumpy when there's to be continueds of people walking over mountains.
They ended it like on a weird perfume commercial. It was so weird. Like they had she's like walking across the rocks with like a flowy gown, and like the music's playing, and it was like a Dune sandworm for women. It was just a weird, it's such a weird moment. It doesn't matter. Anyway, it doesn't matter. you've heard us talk Dune before. I do want to see it.
So
I'll
you
watch them
remember
all
it
sometime in a row someday. After I finish Dark Matter in 2025.
That's quite a marathon because they're not short movies, but
they are not short movies.
But it's great.
I'll watch it next time I come to visit you, Brody. We'll put them both on.
Oh, there you go. I'd be into that. So
all right,
but yeah, I thought it was great. Dune Part 2. All right, now
you ready for the best movie?
For the coup de grace, best movie. Charlie, you're up first.
All right. So I realized as we were kind of prepping for this list that I just didn't see a lot of movies in 2024. I was slacking. I look, I'm going to watch the film. I'm going to get better. There will be better days ahead. I will see more movies. But one movie that I did see that I really did enjoy and have no shame in putting this as my best movie for 2024 is Villain's best sequel. And that is the Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yes.
This was just a thoroughly enjoyable film.
Totally.
Just the right amount of fan service and inside jokes. You got to love Ryan and Hugh together. They're fantastic chemistry. We got to see a little bit of Gambit, and he got to make fun of the Gambit character that almost killed Gambit that I hated. We got to make fun of a lot of characters that almost killed comic book movies.
Gambit.
It was a delightful. Gambit had a good year. 2024 was a good year for Gambit.
It really was.
I haven't been able to say that in a while. And he's having a great run. And the new X-Men comics are fantastic as well, and really celebrating the Rogue Gambit love story. So you gotta love that. Gambit's having a great 2024, better than the rest of us. But this was a really fun movie. I don't need to spend. I know you guys haven't heard me talk to you about it directly, so I'll just briefly say, I laughed. I was on the edge of my seat and tickled in the pink, and it was a delight. It was a delight all the way around, and it fixed a lot of the things that I just that I hated. Like it just kind of was like, those were dumb choices. Let's just not do those things, and it was great. So they brought back characters they should never have let go, and it was a lot of fun. So fantastical.
Yeah.
So at a later date, maybe we can talk more in depth.
I would enjoy that.
I would too. The dog.
It's funny that you say that. That dog was so cute. Because I totally agree with you. We got our first crossover completely in the same category because I also Wolverine. Whoa. Fantastic movie. Loved it.
Sweeping the punchies.
And it deserved it.
Come on. Put it up.
Come on, bro. Come on.
Come on, Brody.
Come on.
Oh, Brody.
Unbelievable.
Wait, give me that. Tudong, are you done talking?
Yep. He just talked about this.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
You want a second round of Deadpool Wolverine?
No, that's true. All right, well, I'll join in on the crossover then. Hey! Yeah, this was great. This was great. As somebody who you guys constantly say is a Deadpool hater, I'm not. The first two aren't my favorite. But only three. But I really liked this one. I really liked it. I love.
You call me a Deadpool hater. Sure, I didn't like the first two movies, but I did enjoy this one.
Well, I didn't say I didn't like them. They're just not my favorite. My goodness.
How could they not be your favorite
movies? But I really liked this one. It was great seeing Hugh Jackman back. It was great seeing him in the costume. It was great, just all of the cameos. I loved the cameos. I popped at the cameos. Just seeing Johnny Storm, seeing Gambit, seeing Blade, all of that. I loved it, and I just laughed.
That was great.
Oh gosh, I laughed out loud throughout the movie. It was wonderful, and it brought it into the MCU, and so I'm super stoked that now we get that. It was super fun to be able to have that and explore the multiverse in kind of a fun way that we haven't done in the MCU yet. Haven't, like the Cavalry, having the brown and yellow costume. I loved those moments. Just stuff like the comic accurate Wolverine just was so funny to see. It's just so much stuff. So nice pool. I could watch it again and just laugh throughout the whole thing. I thought it was great. It's my favorite movie.
It was so fun watching this because I think I texted you too. It's like they took all of Brody's notes from the first two movies and they're like, right, he doesn't like the first two Deadpool movies. We're going to put just things in for Brody. What does he want to see? And then just every time it would happen in the movie, I'm like, oh, that? You know, oh, he's probably freaking out. You know, there it is.
Yeah.
Oh, Johnny Storm. Oh, Brody's probably dying right now.
I loved it. I even saw it coming, but I was like, I love it. I don't care.
It was a lot of fun. This was a fun movie.
Yeah, lots of fun.
Okay.
So make sure that you stay tuned for 2025. We got some format changes that Brody talked about in a video. If you haven't watched that yet, make sure you do watch that. It's going to be a really fun year with some exciting changes coming your way from Talk Punch. And who knows what the future will hold for the 2026 Punchies or 25 Punchies or the 26 Punchies. All the future Punchies will be amazing. Hardware's in the mail, Ryan Reynolds. You're getting 3 Punchies this year.
Yes.
See you in the new year, folks.
Bye.